Outlander Season 1. Episode 12 saw Jamie taking Claire to El Brock, and there was this beautiful shot of the two walking towards the big family home. Now, in Season 7, Part 2, whose first episode comes out on November 22nd, Jamie and Claire are going towards the same home, this time with young Ian by their side. It's an incredible Easter egg for the fans who remember the extraordinary journey of Jamie and Claire from Season 1, which aired in 2014, to Season 7. The show has been going on for 10 years, and the cast celebrated with special interviews and appearances. Moments like this remind viewers why the show was able to continue for a decade and will continue to live on as one of the best TV shows ever. Not only is this shot an Easter egg for the die-hard fans of the show, but it's also an indicator of what's about to happen in Season 7, Part 2. Last year, a year ago, Part 1 ended with Jamie and Claire on the way to return to Scotland with the body of Jamie's cousin, Simon Fraser. Now, the journey has ended, and here they are. Executive producer Matthew B. Roberts says that in Season 3, when Jamie left Scotland, he made a promise that he would return one day, and this is that return. He's bringing Claire with him, and obviously, Ian wants to go home and see his family as well. We've packed the house, Matthew says. It's this big homecoming, and there might be some other special guests too. By packing the house, Matthew means that all the actors who were hired to portray young Ian's siblings will be there, as Jenny and Ian have 7 children in the Outlander books. By special guests, he's referring to Lai and Joan, who are confirmed to make an appearance right in Episode 9, the first episode of Part 2. It's been a long time since these characters interacted. It's been such a long time that Jenny is completely transformed, portrayed by a new actress, Kristen Atherton. Laura Donnelly has been quite absent in the latest seasons of Outlander due to her role in The Fairy on Broadway. I'm sure Outlander will make the transition to Kristen as smooth as possible. If nothing else, there is one certainty. Young Ian will face a lot of questions about his appearance. Matthew says, "We have a scene where there's a lot of questions being peppered at him. It's really fun, as you might imagine, if you showed up a completely different person in your parents' minds. I know it's hard to imagine, but this is what young Ian looked like when Jenny last saw him, so imagine her surprise when her son shows up like this." Yet, the entirety of Part 2 won't take place in Scotland. Unfortunately, characters will go back to America, although at different times, according to the producers. So Claire and Jamie might travel back to the continent separately. They have to say goodbye to each other, but they will meet once again and will join the Revolutionary War. As this new picture shows, Jamie is now a general, and the man who promotes him isn't anyone other than General Washington. We previously saw actor Simon Harrison play the man in Season 4. I wonder if he will reprise his role in Part 2 as well. I hope he does. Of course, as Jamie fights in the battle one more time, Claire continues working as a doctor. This image is quite romantic and sad at the same time. Sam Heughan says that the passion hasn't changed. It's deeper and it's developed. It's not that frenzied fire that we had in Season 1 because they've gotten older. They're grandparents now. But Jamie says multiple times that he couldn't live without her, and we've seen that he's the most codependent person we've ever met. They love each other, and their love has grown to such an extent that it has grown a family and spans across continents. Jamie would do anything for Claire. It's clear as day now. This image looks like a goodbye right before he goes into the battle. Claire looks worried. You can tell by looking at Katrina's expression, but Jamie tries his best to comfort her, as he always does. The teaser trailer for Part 2 showed that terrible things are about to happen to this couple. Of course, none of us should be surprised. This is Outlander 101. Claire and Jamie cannot stay happy for more than 2 minutes. Who would watch a show of a couple who is happy all the time? Honestly, I would, and I know 1,000 others who would join me. But anyway, in the teaser, you can see Jamie looking at someone with such scared eyes. That something's happened to Claire's eyes, and you cannot tell me otherwise. I'm trying to keep this video spoiler-free, and I'm struggling. But if you want to find out what happens in Part 2, I will link the videos in the description box below. By the way, at this point in the story, Claire is over 60 years old, and Jamie is approaching 60. These two don't even look 40. What about those horrible wigs? Does Outlander have a good budget for wigs? I think they can do better, especially when it comes to Claire's hair. Finally, let me go over the episode titles for Part 2, which reveal a lot about what's to come. Episode 9, Unfinished Business, is about Jim's unfinished business with Lai. Episode 10, Brotherly Love, is about the love between Jamie and old Ian. Episode 11, A Weight of Stones, is about young Ian, who builds a memorial for someone he thinks is dead. Like I said, for more spoilers, check the description box. Episode 12, Carnal Knowledge, is about Lord John Grey having carnal knowledge of a known character. He has sex with them, that's what I'm referring to. Episode 13, The Raven and the Dove, is something I have no idea about. It's obviously trouble, as ravens and doves seem to symbolize completely opposite things. Episode 14, You Didn't Get Used to It, is written by Diana Gabaldon herself, which means it will be one hell of an episode focusing on a big moment in Jamie and Claire's life. Episode 15, Written in My Own Heart's Blood, is also the title of Book 8 of the Outlander book series. It's a big spoiler. Let's just say that the blood in the title is not symbolic, it's literal. Episode 16, 100,000 Angels, is another title I can't figure out. If you have any theories about what it might mean, feel free to tell me in the comments. If you want to find out more about Part 2, check out this video.